Okay, so I worked in a cemetery, buried hundreds of people. And before that, I was a professional basketball player for 12 years. And if I'm not at the cemetery, I normally am living abroad currently in Bangkok at the moment. Just came from Kazakhstan. And even right now, you who don't know me are trying to put me in this box. Like, well, what does he do? How does he do that? Listen, one thing you learn quickly from burying people is how life is like this. I buried everyone from newborns to 9-year-olds to 50-year-olds to 90-year-olds to 97-year-olds who had no family.
Now, in today's video, I wanted to react to some life advice from people who are at a certain stage in their life where they have time to reflect on things that worked out well for them and also led them to a place of peace now. And ultimately, I think everyone wants to be at peace at a certain stage in your life. I know that when I get older, I want to find more tranquility and just be more calm. I was always someone who had a lot of anxiety growing up, and to this day I still battle it to a certain extent, though I feel like recently I have found ways to calm myself down a little bit more. But we could all use some good life advice, and that's ultimately why I chose to react to this video. So with that being said, let's dive into it today.
Getting old. What's it all about? 45 years old, which is weird to say out loud. It's weird. The gray starts coming in, and you're like, didn't see that coming so fast, even though you knew it was coming. But the other part of it is you listen to these people online, especially like Gary Vaynerchuk, right? He's like, you're so young. How are you, 45? You got your whole life ahead of you. And you're like, all right, man. So I guess for an 85-year-old watching, they're like, relax. You're good. But the thing that's different, it's kind of like when you think about when you're a kid. And it's like, okay, you're a kid, you're growing up. There's stuff, you're like, I got my whole life ahead of me. Gonna get through school and then maybe college and then get a cool job, or maybe I'm going to go abroad before I go to college, or maybe I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to get some work experience in whatever field. But there's always like the next thing. The other thing that I'll say is that now at this age is all these people we grew up with are dying. People from these great movies that we watched growing up in the 80s and 90s passing away, just like left, right. Like I can't even keep up. And that's the part that's tricky. You got guys like Gary Vaynerchuk's like, you're so young. And you're like, yeah, but all these people that I knew growing up, seen on TV, movies, shows, whatever, passing away. And that's the part where you're like walking forward, kind of looking around trepidatiously. Like, it's like, okay, I guess this is the beginning, right? I guess I have a lot more time, but you're not really sure. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's the part that the being grateful and all that kind of stuff. But for anyone who's watching who's younger, I would just say, like, just do it. Whatever the thing you want to do, just do it. Don't wait around. Don't listen to your dumb friends. You have some good friends, but most of them are dumb. And even the good ones that you have, they might change. If you're lucky enough, you'll stay with them. But for the most part, I'm not saying your friends are dumb. I'm just saying the advice that they have is dumb. And the reason it's dumb is because at whatever, when I think back when I was, in my 20s or whatever, we all were just figuring it out. So none of us knew, like, even if we did it from a good place. So I'm just saying, whatever you feel in here that you should do, just go do that. And you do have lots of time from where I'm at. Okay. And yes, getting married and having kids will change that, but it changes in a really good way. Like before I was like, I might not be able to go see as many movies at the theater. It's like, oh, well, that's okay, because I will, like, tonight, for example, my 3-year-old falls asleep beside me, and I'm looking at his face, and you can't distract. There's no drug that exists that will give you that feeling. Now, yes, will they piss you off more than life itself and find buttons that they push that you didn't even know existed? Yeah. but the love, the whatever you want to call it, when you're looking at your kid, it's like, I love movies. Don't get me wrong, but it's not, there's no comparison. So don't worry about all that.
As someone who also loves movies, I went to film school, I can attest to what he's saying. Yes, it does suck that I have less time to go to the movie theaters. In fact, I saw one movie in the last year. In 12 months, I saw one movie because our son is only 13 months right now, so we can't even watch anything with him. We can't even bring him to the theater. But what he's talking about when he says when you look into your kid's eyes and you get this feeling that you can't really describe, it's indescribable ultimately. It's a feeling you really can't put into words, but it's like seeing the universe inside another person. Maybe it's God or something like that, and you feel so blessed, and it honestly kind of reduces anxiety for me a bit. This last clip though is an interesting one because this person had quite the life's journey.
Okay, so I worked in a cemetery, buried hundreds of people, and before that I was a professional basketball player for 12 years. And I'm not at the cemetery. I normally am living abroad currently in Bangkok at the moment. Just came from Kazakhstan. And even right now, you who don't know me are trying to put me in this box. Like, well, what does he do? How does he do that? Listen, one thing you learn quickly from burying people is how life is like this. I buried everyone from newborns to 9-year-olds to 50-year-olds to 90-year-olds to 97-year-olds who had no family. No one to pay for them. They had to go in a box. You guys don't get it. You don't get it. The one thing burying people puts in perspective for you is a reminder to live. Y'all think I'm kidding. Y'all think I'm kidding with y'all. I buried people and I heard people saying he was so fit. I remember burying a guy named Big Mike. Casket was so heavy it took 8 of us to carry it. I buried women who were 24, 25 years old. Everything was fine, they were healthy. Just like that, gone. And being someone who travels now even more than I used to. I used to be a full-time traveler. But working at this cemetery, you see how it happens quick. You're here complaining that you're getting old. Trust me, when I go into the office and I look on the board and we have a burial that day, and we look down, I show it to my crew, and we see you were 50-something years old, the first thing we say is, wow, how young. They were so young. We bury you at 50, we say how young. But here you are 50, not even, thinking how old you are. It's perspective. Some of y'all are spending too much time thinking you have time. And I think if I was the enemy, that's how I would trick you. I'd take all your youth to get you to work for me and give you the last little bits for you to do whatever you want. Life happens quick, guys. You can spend a day in my shoes, and also you realize people don't care as much as you think. Just a thought that came to my mind as I'm here. It happens quick. Please, my friends. Do something to live today. Something. Don't wait.
That might be the best advice I think I've ever heard someone say, especially coming from someone who had a job that most people would consider to be quite morbid. A lot of people I know wouldn't want to have a job like that. I know I personally wouldn't like a job like that, but if I really needed to make ends meet, I guess you can't really, beggars can't be choosers. But what he says is very, very true. Don't wait. If you have something that you want to start, don't wait. If it's a business or if it's a vacation, a trip, some travel that you want to do, don't wait. You never know how much longer you have on this earth. Leave your thoughts about this video down below in the comment section, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.